Look at this, you guys. Look
Wow.
at this. This is incredible. This just lets me know that it is not impossible to realize the dream of being your best self.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, family. How are you guys doing out there?
Y'all doing all right?
Welcome to the Truth and Love podcast. We're so happy to have everyone joining with us tonight. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest that we just can't wait to share with you. But first, I am Shery Bear.
And I'm Ollie Bell.
And we are
Truth One.
Truth One. We're a Christian rap group here in Palm Beach County. And we have a single out we'd like for you to check out. Ollie, tell them all about it.
Yeah, we got a single called So Lovely. It came out last April, and you can catch it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, any of your favorite streaming platforms.
Yes, and we also have merchandise.
Yeah, we have merchandise. Our shop is called Truth One Shops, and you can check out hoodies and T-shirts and beautifully scented candles.
Yes. So anyway, let's not delay any longer. We are bringing to you guys a very, very gifted, talented woman tonight. Beautiful woman. Her name is Tonya Lewis.
Yay.
Hi, Tonya.
Hi, Tonya.
Hi, how are you guys?
We call her Coach Tonya. Tonya is a health and fitness coach, but not the kind of health and fitness coach that you might be thinking of. When we think of health and fitness coaches, we think of somebody that's going to motivate us to go and get into the gym. And, she's going to be there working us out and every step of the way telling us to do push-ups and all of that. And she's going to give us a diet plan and she's going to make us eat right or tell us how to eat right. No, that's not the health and fitness coach that you're thinking of. Tonya is a mind, body, and soul health and fitness coach. She comes from the perspective of well-being in your spirit, in your mind, and in your body. So she is there to coach us along the way to help us become the best that we can be, to fulfill our dreams in a healthy way. If you have a healthy mind, everything else falls into place, right?
That's right.
So it first starts with a healthy mind. And if you have a healthy mind, then you can graduate and bring that along into your health as far as your body and in your spirit. So that's the kind of health and fitness coach she is. So let's bring her up right now. Hi, Tonya.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you all?
We're doing good. And the name of your business is called Motivation Magnified, right?
Yes.
Yes. So let us let's just discover who this powerful woman is. All right. Her name is Tonya Lewis. Tonya has always had a heart for people and a desire to see them succeed. Having worked in the healthcare field for nearly 2 decades, she knows firsthand how crucial it is to make good choices when it comes to your health. As a health and wellness coach for the past 5 years, she has partnered with over 100 individuals in their journey towards optimal wellness. Her approach is holistic, taking into account not just physical health, but also mental and emotional well-being. Amen. That's awesome. That's awesome. We need someone like this. I've never heard of a health and wellness coach that comes from the perspective that you come from. This is very much needed. So anyway, so give us tell us a little bit more about what you do, Tonya.
Well, health and wellness coaching is fairly new. I emerged into the field just over 5 years ago. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
nurse by trade, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
stumbled upon this on accident.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something that I seen an opportunity for a new program being developed with one of our organizations, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to do that, largely because I wanted to start a new project, not because I knew about what it was. However, through trial and error and through sort of immersing myself in the field, through being coached myself, I see
Mm-hmm.
power. I've seen what it can do for people. And it's really an empowering model. I heard you
Mm-hmm.
say earlier, I'm not the kind of coach that's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. That's not the function of a health and wellness coach. Really, we
Mm-hmm.
promote autonomy. We serve to empower you to be your very, very best version of yourself, but to do so in a way that's unique to you, where you set the tone. You're really at the center.
Mm-hmm.
If can I tell a short story to kind of
Of
wrap
Yes,
course, go right
please.
ahead.
and do a little bit? So I'm a daddy's girl.
Mhm.
I will be the first to admit I love my mom, and I'm a daddy's girl. So one of my favorite things to do as a child with my dad was to go on road trips. And I come from the age of paper maps. Do you all remember those? I'm sure we
Yes.
Yes.
all we got all the electronics now. We got Apple Maps and Google Maps, but I come from the age of paper maps where
Yes.
my dad will be going places and I will find it on the map to say, "Oh, yeah, we're going there." And he would still be driving the vehicle there because I wasn't old enough to drive, but I would be riding shotgun in the front seat holding that map. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how I like to describe a health and wellness coach, where you are driving yourself to exactly where you would like to be. And as a
Mm-hmm.
health and wellness coach, I'm just riding shotgun in the front seat, holding the map.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's a great analogy.
So you are a very busy lady. You're doing all of this great work, and you've helped a lot of women. Do you also help men too?
I do. I do.
Okay. So you're doing all of this, but on top of that, you have a family. Tell us about your family. You're married. You have a husband,
Yes,
and how many kids?
we have a total of 5 children.
All right.
Wow.
So I understand that two of those children are with you and your husband, but you adopted three additional children because your best friend, she had those children, but she passed away. And you were so gracious and loving, you took those children in. And I think that that's just a special person that could do that. So, and also these children are autistic, I understand. Tell us a little bit
Not
more.
all of them.
Okay.
Yes, not all of them. So, yes, my husband and I, we've been married for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're high school sweethearts, and we share 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
My biological son is on the autism spectrum, and I have an 18-year-old daughter as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe I just said that. I have an 18-year-old daughter.
Mhm.
Because you look
It hasn't
great.
even been 30 days yet.
You look so great, I tell you.
Thank you. And
You're just
we did.
glowing.
Thank you. And yeah, we did adopt my best friend's children. She passed away in 2020. And her
Mm,
kids are my god kids. So when your role as a godparent is to step up should something happen to the parents and something.
mhm,
So we stepped up.
mhm.
And she also has 2 sons and a daughter that I currently have custody of. And her 2 sons are also on the autism spectrum. So all of my boys are on the autism spectrum. I have 2 older teenage girls as well, and we're just a big, happy, blended family.
All right. That is so awesome.
Wow.
God bless you for that.
Thank you.
And they do have a very, very good example for a mother in you. I can tell
Thank
that.
you.
Mhm.
So let's get into the questions now. You ready for the questions?
I'm ready.
All right. Then we thank you for coming on with us tonight. So here, let's go get into the questions.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired you to become a health and wellness coach?
So my background is nursing. I've been a nurse for almost 20 years, about 17 years now, almost 18 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was all that's all I know. All I know is how to take care of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was inspired to become a health coach largely because I wanted to be part of a new initiative that was starting with one of our organizations that I work with. And I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. As a matter of fact, I was very resistant to the process at first because I'm a clinical girl. I'm clinical in background, and you can't tell a person from the medical field that, oh, try mindfulness and try
Mm-hmm.
meditation and try the model. And I'm just like, no. However, part of the training, I did it because I was very interested in beginning this program from the ground up. It was a great opportunity, and it's actually thriving now. And I had the opportunity to be coached. Part of the
Mm-hmm.
training was that you would go through coaching yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
that you were coaching your counterparts and they are coaching you. And when
Mm-hmm.
I seen the power that it had and what it did for me, um, I'm a woman of stories. I apologize, but I
No,
remember
no, we love stories.
but I remember when I was training, it was mandatory training for coaching, and it was during a week that my kids and my husband we were on spring break, and training happened to be on that week when we had scheduled vacation. So we canceled the vacation, and I brought them with me to Orlando for training.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband and I do that thing that married couples do sometimes, where we fuss and argue sometimes, and I haven't always been the best listener. And so we started up arguing and fussing one night, and I just sat there and I'm listening. And we're talking, and he just stops and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, am I okay?" He's like, "You're listening." That was just one tool that coaching. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, was I that bad?" But it's definitely, it definitely has bled over into my home, into the way that I interact with my husband, the way that I interact with my children. The health changes that were brought about within me as a result of being coached. I'm like, I got to give this forward to people. I have to get this out there. So it's actually something that kind of that fell in my lap that I ended up falling in love with.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, there's a testimony to your story, and we'd like to pull this picture up of you
Oh, yeah.
after you have coached yourself. Look at this, you guys.
Wow.
Look at this. This is incredible. That this just lets me know that it is not impossible to realize the dream of being your best self. Do you feel like you're your best self right now after these results?
I do. I
You
feel like I'm
do?
on top of the world.
I have no doubts after seeing this that you can help me. After seeing this, I'm like, oh no, we have got to call Tonya because, we all are in trouble here.
Wow.
We all need help to become the best selves, best of ourselves. It's not impossible. We all have these obstacles that we create in our minds as to why we can't do it, or why. And then we have like this problem with motivation because our busy lives, our lives get in the way. We work, we come home, we go to church, and it just seems like our schedules will not allow us to be good to ourselves. So can you help us explain to us how you can relay the message that we can be the best of ourselves, the best version of ourselves? How do you help us do this?
I really hold up the mirror. You already have what is needed within you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a magical fairy that just allows these things to appear in your life. You have the power within you to make these changes.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that picture of me, the person on the right, I didn't think that I could change. I came up with all these excuses. Really,
Mm-hmm.
my job as a coach is to hold up the mirror to the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts you have about yourself, the things that you were telling yourself. I am the subject matter expert on the coaching process. Yes, that is what I do. However,
Mm-hmm.
you're the subject matter expert on yourself. And sometimes it just takes that person to pull out that greatness within you through the form of open ended questions, those powerful reflections that we give,
Mm-hmm.
challenging some of the beliefs that you have, reframing those, really
Mhm.
giving it to you straight and not allowing you
Mhm.
to kind of allow yourself to fall victim to those self-defeating behaviors. And
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
really all I do is I hold up the mirror to who you are, the queen that you are, the person that you are, the things that you are capable of doing. And then I pass the baton to you to do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But you're coaching us along the way.
Mhm.
So does that mean that you hold us accountable? Does that mean that you check in with us to see how we're doing with our goals? Is that,
Absolutely.
mhm.
Coaching is largely accountability based. So where I like to look at it as strengths based coaching, we highlight your strengths. We kind of see how we can use those strengths that you already have to use
Mhm.
them toward the attainment of the goal that you wish to achieve.
Mhm.
And yes, I do hold you accountable. So although we might meet every week or every other week, whatever suits well for your schedule, I'm on the phone with you in between. But it's not just me. We're calling in other big dogs as well. I'm asking you who else can hold you accountable. So the
Mhm.
last client I had, he said my daughter is the one that holds me accountable. And when I tell you that baby held him accountable to those goals, that little girl was 8 years old and she held her daddy accountable to what he said that he was going to do. So it's a
Mhm.
network that we're trying to build. And yes,
Mhm.
we definitely work to make sure that it's planned out. I check in with you as your accountability coach as well to say, hey, how are things going? Even if it's just to drop a motivational quote, just to keep you focused in on your goals. I like to say, my goal is to coach myself out of a job. I don't want you
Mhm.
to need a coach throughout for the next
Mhm.
year and a half, right? The
Mhm.
goal is to equip you with all the tools that you need to be successful and then take the training wheels off so you can go riding into the wind.
Mhm.
Wow.
That is awesome.
So do you have any success stories or case studies of clients that you've helped?
Yes. One that always comes to mind for me is actually she's a woman that I still keep in touch with. Just for client confidentiality, I won't mention her name.
Of
Right.
course.
However, she did my 12-week program, and in the beginning, she came to me and she said, "Tonya, I want to lose weight." I said, "Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit more about that." And she says, "I
Mhm.
want to lose about 40 pounds." I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
That's an outcome goal. That's what the end game is for her. That's what she wants. That's something that wants for herself. It's not quite a behavioral goal. So we definitely went through the coaching process to outline the behaviors that needed to happen in order for her to lose these 40 pounds. But we didn't start there. We started all the way from the beginning to what
Mhm.
mattered most to her about
Mhm.
if you lost these 40 pounds, what are some things that would be possible for you? She
Mhm.
was able to highlight. She had kids later in life, so she had two young children, and she struggled to keep up with them, and it was definitely a damper. It put a damper on the things that she wanted to do for herself in regard to her confidence.
Mhm.
So she would set these goals around nutrition. It was larger nutrition and movement. Her
Mhm.
biggest challenge was when she didn't meet her goals for that week. And she would say, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong." So I would reframe it. What did you do this week?
Mhm.
She would
Mhm.
highlight some of the things that she did. What did you learn about yourself this week? That was her biggest challenge, was being able to allow herself to learn from her, what I'm going to say is failures, but I'm
Uh-huh.
also going to reframe it and say her failure forward. Because it was
Right.
through those learnings, she wanted to lose those 40 pounds, and I'm happy to report that she's lost those 40 pounds and then some. But that started with me. It did not finish with me. What
Mhm.
started
Wow.
with me was her wanting to lose these 40 pounds and focusing on nutrition and exercise, but pushing the pause button because when she came back and she said, I don't think I can do this. She said those words to me, "Tonya, I don't think I can do this." I said, "Let me
Uh-huh.
ask you a question. If your daughter came to you and your daughter said, Mommy, I don't think I can do this. If she brought these goals to you, I want to lose these 40 pounds. I really want to. If she brought something similar to you and you heard the words, Mommy, I can't do this, what would you tell her? And she lit up. She said, I would tell her that she is a strong woman, that she can do anything she put her mind to. And I said, oh, yeah, that's what you would tell her? How about this? You're a strong woman and you can do anything you put your mind. I used her words against her.
Right.
From that moment on, I asked her, the next session after that, I asked her, it took us 3 sessions to get through this. I asked her, I said, what would you like to focus on today? She paused. And she said, Tonya, I need to get my mind right. My mind is not in. I need to get my mind right. So the rest of the time that we worked together was her setting goals around mindfulness and learning how to incorporate meditation and learning how to journal. She took to gratitude journaling like, oh my gosh, this woman. Her goals were no longer focused in on what her movement needed to be, what her exercise needed to be. It then became a journey towards self-discovery. So by the end of the program, she was meditating. She was doing she went to Pilates, but she was meditating, she was journaling, she incorporated her kids into her meditations. So now the kids were meditating, they were doing better in school because life was just a mess for her and she couldn't get a hold of it. She had to gain control of her mind. So her goals ended up shifting from, I want to lose weight to, I want to learn how to build my meditation practice. I want to strengthen my faith. I want to incorporate my kids. And it's through that she lost the weight, but it was through that process of self-awareness. She needed to be aware of what she was putting into her mouth. She needed to be aware of how it was making her feel. She needed to be aware of, okay, if I don't have the time to exercise, what else am I able to do? But it all started from a journey through mindfulness.
Wow, this is awesome. You know, a lot of people, they're more apt to accomplish their goals when they have some sort of motivation or someone there to push them and to coach them to help them realize what it is that they're trying to do. So that's pretty much is what you are doing. You're there holding everybody accountable to what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Right. So I am all into this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sign up. So anyway, listen. A health coach can help you with relationships, career, food, stress, exercise, and even sleep.
Wow. It's kind of like the whole person.
Yes, it's the whole package. So this is what you do, right?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people, when you think of a health coach, you think of, oh, what am I eating or how much I'm moving. I get that all the time. There's a funny video I love to share. When someone asks you what you do as a health and wellness coach, it's like, what? So you're a therapist? No, not a therapist. Oh, so you're a personal trainer? No, I'm not a personal trainer. But addressing the entire person, you are so much more than what you're putting in your mouth or how much you're moving, even though those things are important. There's so much more that makes you that you need to be able to explore in order to be able to decide which way do I want to go with my health and my well-being. What is my picture of my optimal health and well-being? The world can be so cliche sometimes, trying to put health and wellness into a box. No, let's take it out of a box, because health and wellness can have a completely different meaning for me than it has for Ollie Bell, or than it has for Shery Bear. It can have health and wellness can mean something completely different to anyone that you run it past. And you don't really know that meaning until you dive into it for yourself. And that's what I help to do.
Seems like you really get to the bottom of like the foundational, instead of just focusing on managing behaviors. It seems like you get underneath the behavior and get into what supports that behavior. Seems like you're kind of getting into some of the things that can be failure points for people, just being able to stay on track, what are their mental, and emotional weak points. Because you might start off strong, you might get someone to make you a plan, eat this, eat that, do this, do that. And you start off the first day, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then what happens on the third day? What happens on the fifth day? What happens the next? What happens when you fall off the wagon? What happens when all these pitfalls that come across your way? It seems like your coaching really deals with the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because and that's where the magic is. That's where the magic is when you fail. Let's take some lessons learned. A lot of times when you have somebody who wants to get to an optimal state of health and well-being, they have a picture of where they want to be. And most times it's an older picture of themselves, of maybe a time when they were healthier than they are at present. And then you kind of fall into that, oh, I'm unhealthy. And a lot of people try to go back to where they were, realizing that there's learning in this current state. There's blessings here. There's healing here. There's things to be learned here that will make you an even more powerful person coming back full circle and regaining your health and well-being back.
Wow.
Yes. And, a lot of times the battle, not a lot of times, but all the time, the battle is in the mind. It first starts in your mind. What are your thoughts? What's provoking your thoughts process? Because we really can't win unless we are right within. So we
is that a song?
Well, it can be.
That's Lauren Hill, one-on-one.
Hill, how you gonna win if you ain't right within?
Yeah, how you gonna win? 'Cause, you can do all of this wonderful stuff, but if you're not right within, you're gonna find yourself falling backwards. You're gonna keep trying, but then you're gonna always be falling backwards.
Yeah.
True health. The true health is in your mind, it's in your spirit, it's in your body. Once you have all of those things in line and in tune with God, then you're ready to run. You can fly. But if one of those things are off, something is going to just not take off like it should.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you're there to deal with all of those aspects, all of those points in our lives.
Right.
We really, really excited about this. I've never heard of a health and wellness.
I've never heard of this style of coaching before. So this is really revolutionary to me.
And this is going to be so helpful to a lot of people. We can't wait to get this word out. So anyway, a lot of my problem is when I say I don't have time, or if I think I'm going to wake up early in the morning and do my exercise, when I do wake up early in the morning, I don't get up to do it. Or if I do get up to do it, then I'll do it for 2 days and then I stop. This is not just me, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you're the only one that does it.
So, that's the reason why I'm not at the level and at the point where I want to be. But after seeing you and after hearing about what it is that you do, I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, feeling motivated.
I'm feeling motivated already.
Yes, yes.
What's your approach to physical health, and how do you help clients develop healthy habits and routines?
I honestly make them do the work. I'll explain a little bit more, only because when clients come to say, I want to move more, again, that's the physical part of our bodies. I loved when you mentioned how everything is connected. Our minds, our bodies, our spirits, everything is connected. When we're doing well in one area, it trickles over into another area. However, when one area is in a deficit, other areas are going to feel it as well. The number one reason why people come to coaching when they say, I want to lose weight, is through exercise. And my job is not to tell you what type of exercise that you need to do. My job is to really explore. You see, studies show that when you link a goal to something that a person values, studies show that the attainment of that goal is much greater than if it was just a goal by itself, because it sparks what's called intrinsic motivation, or that internal motivation. In other words, Cher Bear, you had the picture that inspired you. That's external motivation, right? That's something that you've seen that is motivating you. You have the other things that can motivate you. However, internal motivation is something that's within you that really wants to do something. I use the terms, when's the last time you did something because someone told you to do it versus you doing something because you really wanted to do it. When it comes to physical well-being, the same rules apply. So I'm going to ask you, well, what is it that's important to you about moving your body more? What is it that you hope to attain? What is it that what is the state that you hope to be in? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? If you were more physically active, what are some things that would be possible for you, and really helping you to paint that picture? But then I'm going to, again, put the ball in your court. What type of physical activity do you see yourself doing? Because you see, if I recommend the treadmill for 30 minutes at a time and you only get 1 day done, or maybe no days at all, could it be that you prefer Zumba and you're not really a treadmill girl, but here I am telling you to hop your behind on the treadmill? The answers come from you. Again, I'm pulling out the answers from within you. What type of exercise are you most interested in? What do you see yourself doing? What would you like to try on over the next week or so? And we really work to develop what's called SMART goals. It's an acronym. Goals that are specific. In other words, you know exactly what you want to do. We're highlighting it, we're pinpointing. I want to attend a Zumba class. That's something that's specific, something that's measurable. How often? How can we put a numeric value on this? How often are you going to go to that Zumba class? I'm going to go twice a week. Okay. Is that goal action oriented? What do you have to do to reach that goal? I'm going to make sure that I get to that Zumba class. Well, the art of getting to that Zumba class is a feat within itself, but is it something that's realistic for you, which is the R in SMART? Is it something that you are realistically able to do? I've had clients that come in and say, I'm going to go work out every day. Are you sure? Is that something that's realistic? And once they kind of pause and look back, well, yeah, maybe I can start with a couple of days a week. And then something that we put a time limit on. In other words, a long-term goal, maybe something 3 to 6 months from now. But those short-term action steps, what can you do within the next week to push you toward your goals? So a SMART goal would be, for the Zumba class, would be, I want to attend a Zumba class for 30 minutes on Monday and Wednesday this week, around 6 o'clock. That's something that's very specific. You have put certain parameters on it. You put a time limit on it. It's not just, I want to go to Zumba class. We've really worked to smarten up that goal, to narrow down that goal into something that's bite-sized, digestible, and something that you were able to do. But it's something that you set yourself, not something I'm going to recommend for you. It's always going to be, when it comes to your physical activity, what is it that matters most to you? How can you incorporate this into your day-to-day life? What type of exercise might work for you? I'm not going to give you a plan. You said you're going to work to create that plan yourself. We ride this journey together. Again, I'm the co-pilot, right? You driving yourself to where you need to be. I'm riding shotgun in the front seat. I still got that map in my hand. Wow. So you're going to work. When you're working with me, you are going to work, because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to work for you. I am a realist. I will strong arm you to know tomorrow that's my superpower, is that I don't work on this alone. I engage you in the process. This is your journey and you are the star player. I can't do this without you. I can't work unless you do.
Okay. Do you ever have instances where you have to draw on your medical or clinical knowledge to say, you might think that's a good idea, but it's not that healthy? Like, say, for instance, just when I was young, I was in high school, maybe 10th or 11th grade. I went on a starvation diet. I was determined to lose weight And I did it by just simply not eating. I think I ate one meal a day and went home and got on the treadmill and I lost weight. And then subsequently, maybe the next year, I was sick all year long. Like I had a health downturn where I was out of school all the time. I had chronic fatigue, I had all these health issues from losing weight the wrong way. Have you ever had to kind of curb your clients' inclinations? Like, there's lots of unhealthy ways to lose weight or to try to achieve external goals. Have you ever had to kind of come in and kind of guide them this way or that way?
Yes. Thank you for asking that. Only because I am dual rolled here, right? I'm a nurse. On one hand, I'm a nurse. And on the other hand, I'm a health and wellness coach. And when I'm coaching folks, I'm in that health and wellness coaching lane where we have a scope of practice for our physicians, right? So although I can't give you a diet plan, if there's something that I hear of, I let my clients know, listen, I'm taking off my coaching hat for a minute. I'm going to be a nurse just for a second. Please talk to your doctor about what you're doing. I can't give any type of clinical advice as a health and wellness coach, but I can definitely recommend go speak with your doctor about this. If it's something that goes against my scope of practice where I'm unable to step outside of my scope, I am able to sort of recommend that you go to the appropriate resource, which would be your medical doctor in most instances. I have had to refer clients over to their mental health providers, only because they were in that depressive state where they had some things that were going on mentally that coaching can help with, but we can't. I don't treat medical conditions as a coach. I'm not a clinician in that capacity. So I have to be able to give you over to the resources that are most beneficial to you, that will definitely get you the assistance that you need. Some people, they might thrive off of being provided with a diet plan. Most of the clients that I serve, they do pretty well on their own, but there might be some instances where they might need that additional support. I'm going to tell you, talk to your doctor about being referred to a dietitian. I will always err on the side of safety when it comes to clinical needs that when it comes to clinical items that need interventions that I can't quite take care of, because I don't diagnose, I don't treat. That's something that falls outside of my scope of practice that I take very seriously, but I will always make it known to the clients that I'm working with when they need additional medical services.
That's awesome. Awesome. So did I hear you say that when you take on clients, that if they get a little out of shape or off track, that you take that whip out and you whip them back into shape and say, hey, get your behind in that on that treadmill or whatever it is that they wrote down that they thought that they could accomplish. Let's say that they wanted to go to a Zumba class or whatever. You take that whip out and say, yeah, it's time for you to go to that Zumba class. You playing around.
Yeah, that's where the magic lies. So I definitely use the whip as an example. We have fun in coaching sessions. And basically what that means, we have to be able to explore your failures as well. It's not something that needs to be hidden. As a matter of fact, as part of my coaching program, we tend to normalize failure because it's going to happen. Something is going to happen that prevents you from reaching your goal for that week. It's almost inevitable. Whenever we're trying to make a change, something happens, and for some reason, we can't get to the thing that we said we were going to do.
Wow.
So instead of waiting for it to happen, we actually talk about it when we're setting the goal. I use like extreme examples. So if someone wants to go walking for 2 times a week for 30 minutes, it's a tsunami outside. We're in Florida. There's a hurricane outside. If that hurricane hits, how can you still make sure that you're taking your behind on that walk for 30 minutes? What's the plan B? Let's plan for this ahead of time. Wow. What is the plan B? So we actually make those plan Bs as we are goal setting, just in case, those challenges creep up, those wrenches are thrown in your day. What is your plan B? Your plan C? Who can hold you accountable? I'm going to hold you accountable, but really being able to normalize that. And even if you don't meet the goal, it's not a matter of, now what happened there? What you mean you didn't meet that goal? It's what number one, what did you attempt? What did you learn in this process? A lot of times it's just a gentle tweaking of the goal to where maybe you overshot the goal just a little bit. You wanted to work out 5 days a week, you only got one day in. What does that tell you? What did you learn from that process? What did you learn about yourself? Maybe we need to tweak the goal a little bit. Maybe you need to adjust it to 2 days a week. It's really it's a self-discovery process where you are learning so much about yourself to the point where you're able to make these changes. I've had my clients come back to tell me that they still text my phone to tell me that they're still using their coaching skill, that the coaching skills that they learned through me, where they're able to coach themselves. I set a goal. They know how to set SMART goals now. A lot of my veteran clients, they know how to set goals for themselves now, but they're really able to ask themselves, I didn't meet that goal this week. What did I learn about myself? And they still text my phone and say, "Hey, coach, guess what I learned about myself this week?" It's something that you're able to employ for yourself, to where you're engaging in this process of self-awareness, and you're allowing that process to unfold in a way that allows you to bring forth meaningful change. It's all about the science of behavior change. Don't get me started. We'll be here all night talking about the neuroscience behind it. I'm a little bit of a nerd.
Wow. Hey, Coach Tonya, we got the one. This is the right one right here, y'all. Coach Tonya. And the reason why I asked you that question is because I know that I'm going to need a whooping, okay, already before we get started.
She will need a whooping.
I'm going to need
I need a whooping too.
I want whoopings, okay? And I'm sure that we're not the only ones. There are a lot of people out there that, they just need somebody to just push them. And, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We all need to be pushed. So we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing here.
Taking a look at your website here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the website.
Go
Motivation
to services.
Magnified. Health coaching.
Yes, our services, health coaching.
Health and wellness coach. She's dedicated to helping you achieve optimal health and well-being. Our coaching process is designed to support you in making important lifestyle changes that will improve your health and happiness. Amen.
Amen.
Woo, yes. This is awesome. You also have virtual groups?
Yes, there are two virtual groups. The first one is actually coaching groups. So sometimes, we have that self-determination theory and social cognitive theory that kind of proves that when you do things in a group, it allows you learn from each other. You learn from that group of like-minded people. You hold each other accountable. So we have coaching groups for various different things that come up. I also have the pleasure of being faculty with the Center for Mind Body Medicine. So I offer mind body medicine groups, and it's really tools. It's an 8-week group that walks you through that process of self-awareness and self-expression. It equips you with tools that promote mindful awareness. It increases resilience. It helps to kind of quiet that stress response. It's all evidence-based. It's every week you'll learn something new. You'll be in a group of peers where you'll learn something. We'll experiment with it. In other words, we'll try it on in class, in group. We'll definitely share where we're talking it out. It's a 2-hour group that's held on the same day, same time, every week for 8 weeks, but it really serves the Center for Mind Body Medicine does a lot of work when it comes to trauma healing. So that group is really focused in on stress management techniques and things that can help you to sort of heal yourself as you are working to cope with the effects of stress and of trauma.
Wow. All right. So let's talk about, how do you help clients overcome challenges like procrastination, self-doubt, or lack of motivation?
Yes, we employ quite a few different tools. Number one, we call those things out. We call them out. Tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me where you feel like you think these things come from. A lot of the reason why I went with mindfulness-based coaching is because when you are able to tap into yourself, you're able to sort of have that dialogue with yourself. And as I'm talking about the mind body medicine groups, I'm reminded of one skill in particular. It is called dialogue with the symptom. It's a mindfulness exercise where we are actually dialoguing as though we were sitting across from that symptom in a chair. So you would have a dialogue with that procrastination. You would have a dialogue with that lack of motivation. You would have a dialogue with that thing that you struggle with the most. And it's a mindfulness exercise where you ask it questions. It kind of answers you back. You write as fast as you can, and then we unpack it. We see exactly what you learned from that experience. But we bring it front and center to where you're able to take that deeper dive into, where is this coming from? Is this something that is within my control? Is this something that I can move forward and work with? Is this something that I'm ready to combat? Is this something that I'm ready to face even right now? But we call it out front and center. Like, let's work through that procrastination, whether you're journaling about it, whether you're dialoguing with it. Mindfulness-based coaching allows you to kind of take that journey inward and to be self-aware enough to acknowledge those things. A lot of those things are called limiting beliefs, those beliefs that we put on ourselves, right? I think I heard Sherbert mention earlier, I don't have enough time, or time is an issue. I've heard the statement, I have coached people in their 70s and 80s, and their limiting belief was, I'm too old, I'm too shy, those are limiting beliefs. We really have to work to smash those limiting beliefs to be able to get you to the very best version of yourself with the tools that what we employ within our company.
I'm so glad you brought that up about the age, because, that's another huge excuse that a lot of us use.
Auntie always tells me, I'm not young like you.
That's one of the most famous ones. Oh, I'm old, too old now. I don't have time for that. I got these aches and I got these pains. Well, that's the reason why we have the aches and the pains, because we're not moving our bodies enough. A lot of times that's the reason. And I know this. So I'm ready to be the best version of myself that I can be. Everybody out there, you're listening, there's no excuse. No excuse. You all need to hook up with Tonya Lewis. She's very well qualified to help us get and to achieve our goals as far as our health and our wellness, the whole body, the whole package. She can help us get it together. So here we have her logo here, and this is how we can contact her. 561-861-1888. 561-861-1888. And if you want to go and check out her website, which is awesome, you can find all the information you need. She has different price packaging on the website, very affordable for whatever it is that you can afford. All right, so go to www.motivationmagnified.com. www.motivationmagnified.com. Everybody, go there, check her out. She's got whatever it is you need. Who doesn't want to be the very best version of themselves?
I do.
Who doesn't want to?
I know,
right? So everybody, you go and check her out. All right. Thank you. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, because we know that Miss Tonya is very busy. She's got clients waiting. Her phone is ringing off the hook. Everybody's trying to get in line and get theirs. All right. So Miss Tonya, let's bring her back up.
Yeah.
What's next for Motivation Magnified, and how can listeners stay connected with you and your work?
Yes. What's next? We are actually trying to relaunch. Part of my own self-discovery was disappearing for a while to be able to focus in on self. And now that I'm back, I mean, a lot of my clients have referred some of their family and friends, and the word of mouth is definitely spreading. But we're definitely needing to kind of have that relaunch. I disappeared for about 10 months and I was still seeing some select clients, but not really doing a whole lot of marketing. So you'll see us out here, in the words of my daughter, you'll see us out here in these streets, being able being able to relaunch and to get the word out. It was very important to me to practice what I teach, what I preach. To walk it like I talk it, right? To be able to own my own model for myself.
All right, we're gonna pull this back up here. Here is the living proof right here, you all. Tonya has been practicing what she is preaching. She did it, you all. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So if you're gonna go to a coach, when you want to go to a coach that is an example of what they are preaching, right? If you were going to go to a hairdresser, wouldn't you want to see your hairdresser's hair looking so nice and looking so beautiful before you even, take her services?
Right.
All right. So here's the living proof here. Tonya has done it. Tonya, you look great. You look beautiful inside and out.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it did not, I can't end without sort of giving credit where credit is due, because this is not a lone effort. I had a lot of support. I come from the picture on the right, autoimmune disease. I had blood clots in my left leg. A lot of people don't know that's what killed my best friend, was a blood clot that traveled. I had one in my left leg, anxiety, depression. So my medical doctor, Dr. Joy Fuller, she's been amazing and supportive along the way in this journey. My husband definitely, many nights that I've sat up crying, just kind of not knowing what I needed to do next. And then my own, every coach has a coach. That's sort of what we live by. All coaches have coaches. So my fitness coaches over at the Bay Coaching Facility in Boynton Beach would definitely be forever grateful for them. I joined back in October. So it was definitely a group effort. And you also asked about being able to sort of keep up with me. Follow me on social media, Motivation Magnified on all platforms, but also on my website at the bottom, there's a subscribe link. If you subscribe to the website, I send out newsletters and just kind of what we're doing next. Sometimes it'll include some discount codes in there as well. So if you go to the home page,
okay, we're going.
If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, yep, it's a Get Connected, Subscribe Now. That will add you to our email list. Sometimes I send out giveaways where I'm offering percentages off. I will send out maybe some blogs sometimes of things that we're into, maybe some motivational things, maybe some nutritional things that we have going on from some of the partners that we work with. So if you subscribe to the email list, you'll be able to kind of stay in the loop about those things that are coming forth, and you might get some discounts and giveaways in there as well.
All right. That is awesome. No amount is too much to invest into yourself and your health and your wellness and your well-being. No amount is too much. But I can say that your prices, which I have checked out, are very reasonable and very worth the money. So everybody, we're just asking everybody, if you're looking to make a change in your life, if you're looking to be the best version of yourself that you can be, if you're looking to achieve your goals, Coach Tonya Lewis.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Hey, let's end on your favorite Bible verse. What your favorite Bible verse? Can you share that with our viewers and listeners?
It will forever be Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen. Amen. One last thing before we go. What's the most important takeaway you'd like listeners to remember from our conversation today?
Prioritize you. You are not able to be the best version of yourself or your family, your friends, your loved ones if you are not taken care of. You can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritize you.
All right. All right. I got that. I got that.
Got that?
You
received that one?
It hit right here. Boom, bam, right there.
All right.
All right.
That's fire. Pew, pew, pew.
Thank you so much, Tonya.
Thank you, Tonya.
We are so glad you came on with us tonight. We can't thank you enough. And this is certainly going to be a blessing to a lot of people. We're going to make sure we get this word out about Motivation Magnified. And
Amen.
I'm blessed.
I am blessed too.
All right. So you're going to hear from us. I've already signed up for the email on the email list, and I'm going to be getting my notifications about nutritional ideas and nutritional pointers or whatever. I'm ready to receive.
Amen.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much, Tonya.
Thank you, Tonya.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.